Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Band Together Leadership Seminars. My name is Paul Everts. I'm the CEO and founder of Band Together Leadership. You can reach me at my email address, which I wish you would do. Contact me, BAND, the number 2 together, like Band Together, at Comcast.net. Also, I have a handsome website, connectingmylife.com, where if you go to the curriculum tab, you will see all the wonderful John Maxwell information or packets or curriculum that I can teach, I can speak, I can train, I can talk about, coach about. Give me a call. John Maxwell is a beautiful man. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He's changed my life. I love him to death. And let me come out and show you that love. Better people make better leaders. That's my mantra. And Dr. Maxwell certainly has done that with me. And then finally, I would say this to you. We are in a battle. And that's not hyperbole. There is a definite force being given throughout the United States as far as we want to see a radical change. And this was said when a president or two ago, a fundamental change in the United States. And I can feel it as a high school teacher. Been teaching since 1989. And definitely, when I can just tell you this, 9/11, 20 years ago, when 9/11 happened, we were outside, and the all call, the United States is officially under attack. So that means all the band kids had to go on the ground. We're in the stadium. We had to go on the ground. We get up. Kids wanted to play the national anthem, the United States national anthem. And then we walked. We did it by ourselves in an empty stadium, and we walked to the band room very quietly. Well, this year at the school that I currently teach at, in the same district, by the way, kids are playing the Russian national anthem. I'm not joking. No kids played the United States national anthem. They played the Russian national anthem, which is actually the Soviet national anthem. So it must be on some video game. I do not know what's going on. That's just one example that things are changing. And they're changing rapidly. I want to thank all of you who are giving me time. Because this is the last, you just... to say, I'm giving you, Paul, 15 to 20 minutes. Tell me what you got, dude. We have gone up exponentially. Last episode was rocking. And I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the messages. It was inspiring. And so I appreciate it very much. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful to God that I have this platform to share with you what I'm going to talk about today, which is words matter. Words do matter. So I am writing a series of letters to my students because I'm not allowed to say what I want to say in the classroom, which is fine. I'm supposed to be a music teacher. I'm not supposed to be some advocate. I'm not supposed to be how do we call it? Activist intellectual. That's not what I am. I'm a high school music teacher, Mr. Pacheco. Mr. Pacheco, I am not a intellectual. I'm not an activist intellectual. Don't want to be. Don't think we should be. So, first of all, as always, since the 3rd of July, 1989, let me just simply say to my students, I love you. You mean a lot to me. One of the cool things about being a band director is that the kids choose to be there most of the time. And I'm honored because I ask a lot of them. I demand a lot out of those kids. And frankly, in the 21st century, it might be too much. Saying thank you, sit up, be kind, stop fidgeting, stop with the fondling of your cell phone during class. But they are with me, and I appreciate it. When you read this, I'm not an English teacher. Writing is a hobby like golf, and they both humble me. The students who are in my class, again, choose to be there. So any human being who chooses to be with me, that's a blessing, man. That's a gift, and I'm honored. So one more time, and not the last time, I love you. As I said earlier, I'm not given the opportunity to share my thoughts about social issues. Other teachers are, and I'm going to show you. So over my left shoulder, is 4 slides of, I think, 75 to 80 slides of a PowerPoint presentation on police violence in a math class. No, not police violence in a math class, but a math problem using police violence to help create problems, equations. Look at these. I don't get it. I don't understand. So with these math problems, does the teacher, probably an award-winning teacher, because, he's into the injustice, social, whatever, he's into it. He's got it. Do you not think, hip teacher that you are, that there's some 8th grader in your class who might have a father or mother who's a police officer, an aunt, an uncle, a family friend, and you're talking about a profession like it's something awful, that all they do is police violence? You're talking to 8th graders, man. What about children who want to be police officers? Who's going to want to be a police officer after all you do is give them one-sided violence and how terrible they are? Jerk, man. So you might have made the few, and trust me, out of 320 million people, the few feel great about the anti-police rhetoric. However, there is a child in your classroom who you have hurt. You have also stained and insulted a profession with your simple math problem. Damn. And now, over my shoulder, you see a book being used by some school districts close to where I live. And again, I live in Northern California. High school mathematics lessons to explore, understand, and respond to social injustice. What are we doing? When we hear the schools are doing indoctrination, I'm sitting there going, no, we're not. Are you kidding me? And then I look at this stuff. Disclaimer. Do not send me a book that is music and social injustice. Please do not do that. I'd have none, zero. Nope. I just want to teach music. And human beings to be better human beings, no matter ethnicity, race, or gender. Really, I don't. If I were given the opportunity, support to discuss social issues, we would discuss the change in language. That would be our social issue for today, the 11th of May, 2021. The words we're going to look at are equity, equality, and mercy. So for my grandchildren that are watching this, for my children that are watching this, whom I love dearly, you're the closest to me, I do this in honor of you. I'm not going to read you word for word. I'm going to put the links in the information of today's episode. But equity. This, of course, is the Merriam-Webster.com. Justice according to natural law or right specifically. Freedom from bias or favoritism. Something that is equitable. The money value of a property or an interest in a property in excess or claims or liens against it and so forth and so on. I'm not going to read all that. You don't need to have that. Here's the 1828 Webster Dictionary equity.
But that's almost 100 years ago. What the hell do I have to care about what's going on now?
Here's what I'm going to tell you, people. I give you this 1828 Webster Dictionary definition to show you how much we have changed. The pendulum is knocking people off the board. It's knocking people off. Here we go. Equity. Number 1, justice, right. In practice, equity is the impartial distribution of justice or the doing that to another which the laws of God and man and of reason give him a right to claim. It is the treating of a person according to justice and reason. And then, of all things, this is the definition. We cite the Bible. Psalms 98, verse 9. The Lord shall judge the people with equity. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 4. With righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity. And then again, there's another 5 parts of the definition. So let me just pause right now. Prior to the 25th of June, 1962, Engel versus Vitale Supreme Court Decision, I strongly believe I would not have received a letter of reprimand for using the Webster 1828 definition of equity. However, considering I have received a letter of reprimand for saying the following. Thank God I work at John Doe High School. And God has me here at John Doe High School for a purpose. I got a letter of reprimand because that's unprofessional language. I know I would have received a letter of reprimand for using the 1828 Webster definition, and probably a day or two of unpaid leave, even though I would have been stating a fact. The two definitions seem to represent two different countries, correct? Do you see the manipulation of language to represent a point of view or culture? I would ask you to please consider doing a little research and see how our nation has responded to that 25th of June 1962 Supreme Court decision. I bet many of my students, past, present, and future, who are watching this episode right now, thank you very much, don't even know there was an 1828 definition that included God or cited the Bible. That was in a dictionary of the United States. So I give you in your description of today's episode, please go to the 1 hour, 4 minute mark of the episode that I have linked. And it's David Barton telling you what has happened. What are the trends that have happened since that Supreme Court decision? The increase of single parent households and on and on. The decline of test scores. So please also, fact, take note. To create his definition, Noah Webster used the Old Testament. He said God, or he said he. He did not use Jesus Christ. He did not say Jesus Christ. He said God. Now let's go to equality. Merriam-Webster, once again, has one statement. The quality or state of being equal. Simplify, I guess, for us idiots. I guess, we didn't know that. Anyway, equality. This is from the 1828 Webster Dictionary. An agreement of things in dimensions, quantity or quality, likeness, similarity in regard to two things compared. We speak of the equality of two or more tracts of land, of two bodies in length, breadth, or thickness, or virtues or vices. The same degree of dignity or claims as the equality of men in the scale of being, the equality of nobles of the same rank, and equality of rights. So, once again, remember, I'm a high school band director. I've been doing that since 1989. It's 32 years. I'm doing what I can to understand the need for our public schools to support the following. We need equity, not need equality. I'm feeling that. Then they might not say that, but I'm feeling like it. There is no equality framework for public schools, but there is an equity framework. Tells you that that's pretty important. I'm doing what I can to understand the need for ethnic versus ethic. Ethnic seems to put groups of people together. Well, ethics. All human beings need to understand what ethics are. What is ethic? What is an ethical being? But no, put the N in there. Gotta get, oh my goodness. Now, I admit that the previous statement has a hint of hyperbole. However, my goodness, we are certainly being fed that equity and ethnicity are now the tenets for the renaissance of the United States of America. With such books as How to Be an Anti-Racist, White Fragility, with businesses, Disney just did it the other day, private sector, public sector being trained with critical race theory. Terrible. Go study it. It's Marxism. Okay? It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. People believe we may be seeing a new religion being formed. And remember what a religion is. It's a personal set or institutionalized system of religious attitudes, beliefs, and practices. That's the definition. A religion fraught with Marxism, and that is ironic because Marx despised religion. There's an irony there, isn't there? Let's look at how words from a nation founded on Christian principles are being transformed into new Christianity principles. This is the new Christianity. The churches are doing it, man. Moreover, please remember, there have been many humans, mostly men, who have warped Christianity to obtain power over the masses. In the end, this is all about power. In the 19th century, the word equity had a foundation based on the Bible. In the 21st century, what is the foundation of the word equity? What would you say that would be? I'm not going to give you all the answers. So let's look at another word that has gone through this transformation, this new Christianity we're seeing. Mercy. Mercy. 21st century, definition of mercy, Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Compassion or forbearance shown especially to an offender or to one subject to one's power also. Lenient or compassionate treatment begged for mercy. Imprisonment rather than death imposed as penalty for first-degree murder. Okay? And then there's more, and I'm not going to read you everything. Now, here we go. 1828. You want to guess? You want to guess? I'm going to tell you. You're right. There's Bible all over it. The benevolence, mildness, or tenderness of heart, which disposes a person to overlook injuries or to treat an offender better than he deserves. The disposition that tempers justice and induces an injured person to forgive trespasses and injuries, and to forbear punishment, or inflict less than law or justice will warrant. And it goes on. We read Numbers chapter 14, verse 18. Genesis chapter 32, verse 1. Remember, this is the definition from the 1828 Webster's Dictionary. Number 3, Luke chapter 10, verse 37. The fourth is clemency and bounty. This will be from Proverbs 28:18. The fifth, charity or the duties of charity and benevolence. We get to hear Matthew chapter 9, verse 13. Number 6, grace. 1 Corinthians 7:25, Jude chapter 1, verse 2. Number 7 of 9, eternal life, the fruit of mercy. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 2. 8, pardon. I cry thee mercy with all my heart. 9, the act of sparing or the forbearance of a violent act expected the prisoner cried for mercy. To be or to lie at the mercy, to have no means of self-defense, but to be dependent for safety on the mercy or compassion of another, or in the power of which is irresistible, as to be at the mercy of a foe or of the waves. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt, because today I got my chin slapped.
Why are you bringing up the 1828?
To show you all again. We are in a battle to keep the United States. We are right now in the middle of something I don't think I knew until almost too late. Why is this not being taught to the children? Why are they not being told your nation was founded with biblical principles? Again, this transformation of our nation is not being taught to you, my students. My students are not being taught that indeed our nation was founded on biblical principles. My students, you know you are not. Just look at the example of the definitions of those words, especially the mercy one. All those citations from the Bible in 1828, and you got nothing now? Any ideas about why you are not being taught our nation was founded on biblical principles? How about I ask that question? The point of today's episode is our nation is being changed, and we can actually see the change. If there is a positive about social media, technology, the information is literally at the end of this arm. When I was growing up, we had to go into a library. We had to go do research. We had to read newspapers. The headline was one headline a day. It wasn't New York Times saying, oh, there's a headline 30 minutes later. No, we're going to just change that headline because more is coming. Another 45 minutes later, let's change that headline again. No, it was one headline. When I was young, we had 3 TV stations, NBC, ABC, CBS. That was it. 3 network news coverages. So by the time the change would be accomplished, as people like to say, the trains would have left the building. They would have gone to the camps. We would not have known because we were not informed. Now, because we have greater access, quicker access to the information, our responsibility to maintain our culture, it's really increased now. Things are moving very fast. You have younger people very involved, and they're quick. They're quicker than this 55-year-old grandpa. And I get it. But here's a depressing thing to think about. Few want the responsibility to find this critical information and then share it with you. Why? Because it hurts like hell. The name calling, the accusations you receive for sharing such information hurts like hell. You're in a desert. You're getting smacked around. You're not following the principles. How dare you question? You can lose your job. We're seeing that. Bosses will make your life hell to the point where you're going to want to give up and quit. However, I'm going to accept the responsibility to share with as many folks as possible. Here's what I'm going to say. Keep equality our foundation. Keep the founders' documents our foundation. The reason why you have freedom is because of the Constitution. Equity is not the same as equality. We see that. In fact, equity is not the same today as it was in 1828. Equity in 1828 was biblical. Now, it is used to get us to destroy the original intent of our nation. No, that is not hyperbole. I have in your description today an article that states that the goals of ethnic studies is to destroy what we've created. You tell me how you read Mr. Pacheco's thoughts and many others about ethnic studies and equity. Again, you need to read Chris Rufo's The Merchants of Revolution. Chris Rufo has this for us. He says, Jorge Pacheco describes this process as transforming students into activist intellectuals who, quote, decodify systems of oppression into their component parts, including, here are the parts, the component parts: white supremacy, patriarchy, classism, genocide. Private property is not a good thing, according to Jorge Pacheco, and frankly, the philosophy, I'm going to call it a philosophy of Marxism, and God. Systems of oppression into their component parts. In the end, please be brave, please have courage, and become more educated and share your knowledge. Words matter. Definitions of words matter. There is a battle going on behalf of all the teachers who wanted to make you students the best patriotic Americans you could be instead of Jorge Pacheco's activist intellectuals. I apologize for your generation being stuck in the middle. Making you better Americans, making you a patriotic Americans was strongly encouraged. In fact, in the Education Code of the State of California, Section 52720 states in part that in every public secondary school, there shall be conducted daily appropriate patriotic exercises. The giving of the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America shall satisfy such requirement. Just out of curiosity. Since March 13th, 2020, when your schools got shut down, as your California public school, secondary public school, that'd be a high school, have you done the daily appropriate patriotic exercise? And what's considered patriotic? Finding an agreement on what we all do in one voice as a patriotic exercise is now a struggle. And that's part of the plot to change America. As the great karate master Miyagi says, left side of the road safe, right side of the road safe, middle of the road like grape. You're going to have to pick a side eventually. My next letter to my students will be about how do you, Mr. stay optimistic that the United States of America will survive this recent challenge. And here's a hint. There are 320 million citizens of the United States of America. Those who want to have more Marxism, I said more, in our nation are the few. And I'm going to hold on praying and praying. It's the few. There are many who are ready to say enough. Pay attention. Marxism, socialism, they fail. The United States of America is a great nation, but not great enough to be the first nation to prove Marxism and or socialism works and can be successful. It's been tried over and over, and it's failed miserably to the ending of people's lives failed. I will leave you with this optimistic statement. There are hundreds of millions who believe in the following statement by Thomas Jefferson. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It goes on that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive on these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government. That means elections. That doesn't mean all of a sudden, okay, come on in, Marxism. Come on in, socialism. Let's just try it for a little bit. No. It means going to the ballot and voting in a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for paying attention to me today. Thank you for all the love and all the support, because trust me, man, I'm getting my rear end handed to me, because I need to begin with the end in mind. Every choice I make, including this episode today, that's who I am. Seek first to understand, to be understood, and finally people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I care about you. I love you. And then say it with me. I am doing the best I can. 2 more times. I am doing the best I can. And the last time, I am doing the best I can. Respect, responsible, discipline, integrity, faith equals love. We are here to love one another. We are here to support one another. You can do it. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.